You're watching 5 Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final, and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
All right, everybody, welcome in to 5 Star Live here at Grace Christian, where the Rams polished off a 24-21 hard-fought win over the Webb Spartans, joined by Rusty Bradley up here on set tonight. Second win in a row over Webb School of Knoxville. It wasn't easy. You guys had to fight tooth and nail down to the last minute.
No question. And I knew it was going to be a tough game, and our kids were prepared for that all week. And we know that our last 4 games starting tonight are going to be tough. Mm-hmm. And it's part of being in Division II football. And just the way that our kids competed and didn't let up, even when things were going against us there in the second half, they just kept fighting. And I challenged them before the game. The Bible says, Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. And just God's going to be with you wherever you go. And I challenge our guys, don't be discouraged. Don't be afraid. Be strong, courageous. Go out and compete. And that's what they did.
Look over my shoulder. You can see the scoreboard still on. What's the protocol on leaving the score up on the scoreboard, keeping it up there all night in a big win?
Usually it's off by now. So
okay.
So evidently we're doing something special.
All right. But you guys were up 24-14, kind of had a pass get away from you. They get an interception, come back down and score. And what's kind of the mood on the sideline? At that point, y'all were kind of in control of the game, and then all of a sudden it's flipped.
Our guys were calm, and we were prepared to go out, and if they scored to go up, we were preparing. I was preparing our guys to go down and answer, but our guys were calm. There was no panic, and that's the thing I'm so proud of our guys is they just keep competing. They find a way, and they never panicked when things started going against us. And obviously I took some chances there on the 4th down that didn't work out, and the corner for them on that interception made an incredible play. It was an incredible, absolutely just an athletic play. And again, our guys just found a way to find a way to win the game.
Jared, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and roll some highlights if we can. And you guys get down there and get some early momentum, and I'll let you talk about whatever plays you want, but we had a bad snap there, and it kind of cost you guys a chance to get a touchdown.
I was worried that at some point that may come back to get us, having to settle for 3 instead of getting the touchdown. Mm-hmm. But our guys just found a way, and we were able to get it, obviously 3 other touchdowns in the end zone. I was a little worried in the red zone there. The second quarter that we were going to have to settle for field goals at times, but obviously we were able to score.
Webb pulls ahead on you guys right there, pounding it into the end zone as they're accustomed to do with their run game, but you guys are able to kind of answer right back. Your receivers tonight made some unbelievable catches. I don't have a powerful enough camera on my phone to get down that far, but just the guys had showed off the hands tonight.
Yeah, we've got a great group of receivers, and Pierce Browning, Michael Human, Grant Warwick, they all just do a phenomenal job. Caleb Curcio out of the backfield catches the ball really well. But just our defense and our guys and how hard they play and the plays that they make defensively, it's just a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, nice pass here to Michael Human. We'll have Michael up on the set here in just a moment. But what did you find difficult defending this Webb team tonight as you got an interception there?
I think the biggest thing was just their size. They're very strong. They're very physical up front, and trying to, we're a little undersized up front. We basically play with one defensive. He's just an incredible player, and he's a kid that I've said multiple times reminds me physically of Josh Smith before Josh started growing. He's got great ball skills, and he's just fearless as a player, and I love being able to coach that kid.
But it seemed like on that drive, though, you guys went back to Curcio and really made a concerted effort to really pound him and start to control the clock.
Absolutely, and in the second half, I felt like they were a little bit tired defensively up front, and in the first couple of plays, the run game was working, so I decided let's just stick with it, and obviously that worked out for us well on that drive.
Pivotal moment there, the interceptions. Brady McCoy runs it back inside the 30-yard line, puts him in scoring position, and kind of discuss that play call and what y'all are looking for there.
We were trying to throw a smash concept, and the corner did a great job of coming off the hitch and sinking underneath the corner route. It was just an incredibly athletic play, something that it wasn't really something that Cooper did wrong. It was just something that defender did well.
You guys make the pivotal play here, the game clinching. I don't know what you want to call it. They threw a pass and ended up about half yard short.
It was just, it just worked out in our favor. And to be able to get that stop on fourth down and the defense come out and make the play that they made was just, it was awesome. I was glad the defense was able to get that done.
Some big moments on this field this year. I remember the win over South Doyle. Definitely going to remember this one. Going forward, though, what does Grace Christian need to do to put itself in the right playoff spot?
I think we've got to, stay healthy. We've got guys that obviously play in 7 games now that are nicked up. So we've got to stay healthy, and we've got to continue just to take each game one at a time. I think that's going to be huge for us. To have a tendency to look ahead and try to project with the playoffs and everything, but we've just got to take it one game at a time, come out every day, work hard, and then when it's time to play on Friday, just show up and be grateful that we get to play.
The guy that I'm about to bring up here, Michael Human, impresses me because he's able to be as productive as he is on Friday nights, but also still have a pretty good handicap on the golf course. Michael
is a phenomenal athlete. Started for us last year at corner, plays golf, missed qualifying for the state tournament by 2 strokes, but he misses at least one day every week for golf. And so, but he's just an incredible athlete.
Just getting better at routes, and then Pierce Browning and Grant Work doing a good job in the offseason, getting better too.
How do you juggle 2 sports, especially with football? In East Tennessee, football is king, and it's almost like you wouldn't have time to do both. How did you do that and still stay sharp enough in golf to compete at the region level and almost make it to state?
Really just practicing on the weekends, and I got to thank Rusty for allowing me to play both sports, and just practicing on weekends and doing everything I can.
Got a simulator at the house or anything you can swing on? Nothing in the backyard or anything? I mean, that's even more impressive. But what do you like about this Grace team this year? I mentioned the South Doyle win earlier that y'all had early in the season, and I know that was such an emotional moment for you guys. And now that the momentum has continued to build, what's it like in the locker room just kind of each and every week coming out here to work?
Yeah, we love each and every one of us. We're doing it for each other, and we've been playing a long time. Like, me and Cooper have been playing since we were like 8 years old, so we're playing really good together, and we're just doing it for each other.
Some of the touchdown catches that you had, is there 1 or 2 tonight that you'll remember from this game?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The wheel route, we ran that 3 times, and it's worked all 3 times so far.
All right. Well, Michael, man, congratulations again on the win. Webb wins tonight 24-21. Or excuse me, Grace Christian wins 24-21 over Webb tonight. We're going to get to our trivia question. You want me to read that tonight? Yeah. Grace Christian coach Rusty Bradley has won 2 state titles. Which school did he lead to state titles in 2011 and 2012? Make sure you reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Hashtag it 5-Star Live for your chance to win a prize pack from Gold Star Nutrition. Again, Grace Christian coach Rusty Bradley won 2 state titles, 3A state titles in 2011, 2012. If you know the answer, just shoot us that by Twitter. Hashtag it 5-Star Live, and you might be the lucky winner. Stay with us right here on 5-Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. We'll be right back after this.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0183.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Thank you to John H. Coleman for being the title sponsor of 5 Star Live. It's getting cold, man. I told you last week, I said it's getting cold. People are going to turn on their heaters, and there's going to be one or two or more around the town that's going to some wire's going to malfunction. You got to get John H. Coleman out, and I try to remind everybody on social media this week.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. We're out here a little freezing a little bit.
We
got getting our long johns ready, and I've got John H. Coleman coming to my house next week, actually. So to go ahead and get that maintenance taken care of, so I don't have my heater go out.
Yeah, my mind's cold. I said Webb won a minute ago, so it's Grace Christian that wins tonight, 24-21 over Webb. Let's go ahead and roll some highlights. And we had Rusty Bradley up here breaking down the game. We had Michael Human, the star wide receiver from Grace Christian tonight, breaking down the game. And Grace got into position early, got down inside the red zone, but had a missed cue right there on a snap on 3rd and 1. Had to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, and you heard Coach Bradley, and we thought the same thing. You don't want to get down there inside the 5, have a bad snap, not capitalize with a touchdown, especially against a really good Webb team that can hold the ball from you.
Thought Webb scored on this play. They said they did not. Still set it up 1st and goal from the 1. Elijah Bain, number 24, will power in from the 1 here in just a second. And Webb comes on the road and takes an early lead, and that's what they need to try to win a game like this.
Yeah, and early on you saw them doing a good job of running the football. We saw a little bit more passing out of them, and they really struggled tonight on 2nd down. I think that's going to be a big key as they move forward, as their 2nd and long offense.
Man, Grace Christian's receivers were just on point tonight. I know Cooper Riggs was throwing some nice balls. He threw for over, I think, 400 yards last week or something crazy like that. So a lot of confidence with this offense. But that guy right there needs to get going a little bit more. Caleb Curcio, he has been banged up this year, but they can always rely on the pass. Right there, number 5, Michael Human.
Well, and you just saw two of those highlights right there are a staple of Rusty Bradley's offense. The corner route, runs a lot of smash routes, gets the wide receiver, inside receivers out to the corner. Very hard to defend, especially in man coverage. They do such a great job, Jesse, of running and practicing what they do and running it well. They do things great. They don't do things average because they do it over and over and over again.
Did you think that pass that we just saw was controversial at all? I mean, if it's tied up, tie goes to the runner. In baseball, tie goes to the receiver, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I will say this. I thought the Webb corner there got there first, and I thought he had the ball, and then I felt like Grace Christian came in and tied it up. So there for a second I thought it was an interception, but yes, tie does go to the runner, as you would say. But I thought it was a great play by that receiver to get in there and grab that ball because it was an interception at first.
Big play there, pass interference on Grace Christian, and this amazing run by Charlie Robinson gets him inside the red zone, and he's really grown up a lot. He's just a sophomore. We saw him as a freshman last year really struggle. He seems to be playing with more confidence, and then that freshman right there, Brennan Winton, has a lot of potential.
Yeah, and what I really liked with Webb is they were down 17-7 at half. They got the ball first in the second half, and they came out and drove it right down the field, pounding the football. And it was a good sign for Webb to get down and score, especially coming out of the half. And this is a young Webb team. When this team really starts putting it together with some of these young skill players, because they're already big and physical up front on the offensive line, they got a chance to be pretty good here, Jesse.
But that guy right there, 44, Caleb Curcio, he basically just owned that scoring drive.
So, look, I've told everybody I can. I was defense coordinator last year at Lipscomb Academy, and we get to this game plan to come up here in the semifinals against this football team was to stop that young man. I think he's one of the best football players up here in East Tennessee. I think he's a great high school football player. Love watching him play. And you saw it on that drive right after Webb came out and scored. Coach Bradley turned around and said, I'm going to give it to my bell cow, and they pounded the rock with him all the way down the field, scored a touchdown. He's the bell cow of this football team. I feel like he kind of makes them tick.
But it seemed like when they were pounding him, they were in total control. And then after Brady McCoy got that interception, Webb got back on the board. They got another chance here. And then this fourth down pass, they execute it, they catch it, it's a half yard short.
Yeah, and it looked like he had it at first. I'll say, you heard the crowd and the coaching staff from Webb asking for a measurement, and it always baffles me, Jesse, to be real honest, why the official won't measure the play just so we can know, instead of having any doubt about what's going on, just measure the play, because it was close enough for a measurement. The only problem was he had to come back for the football. He was at the sticks. Yeah. He hadn't had to come back and dive for the football. I think that might have been a first down and seeing what Webb could do there at the end of the game.
And sometimes that just comes down to, again, young quarterback, maybe a receiver who maybe he hadn't had a lot of time to establish chemistry with. Sometimes when your experience, you know where that route needs to finish up. And like you mentioned, he came back to the football, dove across the line, and that really left at about a half yard short. But totally agree with you on the measurement. That should always be the case, especially in a tight ball game right there in the last minute. I mean, what are you going to lose? What's it going to hurt anybody to wait an extra 30 seconds?
Yeah, we got about 1:30 on the clock. It's 4th and 5. Again, the passer's right on the sticks because of having to come back to the football. Once you establish it's a catch, let's get a measurement out there. Let's leave no doubt on the field there. I just don't understand that from officials sometimes, and we don't want to get on those guys because, hey, a lot of these guys, they're not making big money to come out here and help us with high school sports, but let's get that measurement. Let's just see and put no doubt in the minds of fans.
CAK, Webb, Grace Christian all enter tonight tied atop the region standings in Division II AA East. Now Grace Christian and CAK are left there atop the region standings. We'll see how it all shakes out here going forward. But I ask you this all the time. Going forward, what do you want to see out of Grace Christian, and how do you think teams will defend them?
Well, I think, number one, I want to see healthy Grace Christian. And like Coach Bradley said, if they can stay healthy, they've got a really nice football team. What they do offensively gives them a chance. They've got a good bevy of receivers, but it comes down to Mr. 44. Great football player. If he's healthy, what people don't understand about him is his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. They're able to go 4 wide receivers and put him out wide, and he's a nightmare, a matchup nightmare. If they can keep him healthy, play just enough defense to keep him in games, Cooper Riggs, this wide receiver bunch, and Mr. 44, they got a chance to win football games. Want him healthy. And then for Webb, if they can just get some of the young guys more experienced, they got a chance, Jesse. I mean, this is a very large offensive line with some really good skill players. If they can get going, I like this Webb football team, but they've got to find a way on 2nd and long. 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8 tonight was a killer. They either got sacked and got in 3rd and long, or they were throwing interceptions. And so they really got to work on that 2nd and long offense moving forward for Webb.
I think the more reps you see out of Brandon Winton in that offense, remember, he's just a freshman. He's known for his basketball talent. Everybody in town knows him for basketball. He's coming out part of this wing tee and kind of finding his place in it, and you don't just come in as a newcomer and just adapt to the wing tee like that.
No, and we saw flashes tonight, and that's what we're saying. I mean, this is a good football team. Again, hats off to Grace Christian, big win for them. But this is a Webb team that you see the ability, you see the potential. Coaches hate that word because it gets you fired, but this is a team that has a lot of potential, and they just need more reps. And when they get those reps and they can get that passing game going, they're going to be dangerous.
Shout out to number 73, Jackson Bradley, for Webb, School of Knoxville, one of these offensive linemen that Kevin is talking about, finally starting to get the Division I offers that our staff has always been waiting on. He's always been in our top 25 prospect list for the class of 21. He got offered by Dayton this week. He got offered by Stetson, and hopefully some more to come. So congratulations to Jackson Bradley.
He looks the part
on those offers. Yeah, the son of Shazan Bradley, former Vol. I don't know if you know your former Vols. I grew up in West Tennessee, so I'm not super familiar with him, but I know he's got the bloodlines and the pedigree, and we're starting to see that. So, all right, when we come back, we're going to be joined by Gatlinburg-Pittman football coach Derek Rang on the Waffle House Hotline. They got a big win tonight in a rivalry game over Pigeon Forge. We'll talk with Derek Rang all about it right here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5-Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never question. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
It's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus and not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
Welcome back, everybody, to 5-Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. We are now going to the Waffle House hotline to be joined by Derek Ring, head football coach at Gatlinburg-Pittman. They picked up a big win tonight in a rivalry game over Pigeon Forge, 15-12. Congratulations, Coach Ring. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing good, Jesse. Just got back up in the locker room and trying to get some film in the huddle and wrap my mind about what just happened. So,
well, take us through it. I saw on Twitter that Pigeon Forge jumped out to a 12-0 lead, and just how were they able to do that against you guys tonight?
Well, it was kind of weird. We were putting a good first drive to the game together, and we fumbled the football. I guess we may have had a first down run and fumbled the ball, and they got the ball. And I think the first play of the game, they ran they run the wing tee offense, and Coach Meadows has done a great job getting that put in down there. And they run the play like off the edge, and we just lost eye discipline, and the running back took it like 60 yards for a touchdown, and we were down 6-0. And then we put another good drive together, and I think we maybe threw an interception in the end zone, and they come back out and threw a bomb on us to go up 12-0. Wow. And then it just turned into just a great high school football game. Just what you'd expect from a rivalry game. Just what you'd expect. Just some big hits and momentum swing plays and turnovers, and so we're just fortunate to get. I think it was 12-10 at halftime, and then second half they actually had a safety on a punt that got snapped over the punter's head, and we were in their territory 4 or 5 times and only come up with 2 or 3 times come up with a field goal, and able to get a stop at the end, and then we able to 4-minute offense just bleed the game out. So it was a tough football game for us. It was an exciting game, but it was back and forth, and we're just thankful to get the win.
Yeah, I thought I saw you guys get a score right before the half. What was that score? And, like, do you feel at that point kind of turned the momentum in your guys' favor?
Well, I felt like, in the first half we were doing fine. We just couldn't finish drives. It was like we would, we had the ball, and I don't know if we really punted in the first. I'm trying to think if we punted the first half, and then we had Bryson Flynn kicked a nice, I think it was 40-yard field goal before the half to make it 12-10. And then once we come out in the second half, I think is when they had the safety to make it 12-12. And then, we were just able to, then it just kind of turned into like just a back and forth game. And, we would stop them, they would stop us, or then we would drive the ball. I think we threw an interception down there in the end zone. They had a corner make a great play on the ball, kind of toe tapped it. And, we're just able to get down there. I think we settled for a Bryson Flynn short field goal to go up 15-12. And then, we were able to get a couple stops there at the end. So it was definitely back and forth.
For your young quarterback, and you've mentioned a couple of interceptions tonight, how did he keep it together? How did he handle the moment against a rival?
Tonight wasn't his best game. He'd probably tell you that. Coming into the game, he had 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions as a freshman. and he had done really well for us. And then I think tonight, he was a little off rhythm, to be honest with you. We just couldn't find a rhythm. They did a really good job of like rerouting our receivers in the back end. They were playing real physical, and we just couldn't connect on some balls we had open. And then we were off a little bit in the throw game, and I think Christian would admit that. I think he would admit he probably liked to. He probably didn't play the best game he would like to play, but he's a young kid. He's a freshman. He's going to get better. It's tough to be a freshman starting on varsity football. So he'll get better, and he's a great kid. And he's a great worker, and but again, we're just able to defense. Luckily our defense was able to really step up and make a lot of plays tonight.
You guys have one of the better receivers in the area, and Ethan Stinnett, and I wonder how much focus Pigeon Forge put on stopping him.
They put a lot of focus on him, and we just couldn't get him going. He caught some balls and made some nice plays, but Ethan's really good at tracking a deep ball, and it just felt like whenever we called a deep ball, whether it be getting pressure or a couple of times he got pass interference penalties, which gave us 15 yards, but 15 yards in their eyes better than giving up a deep touchdown, which smart on their part. But Ethan's a great receiver, and we had a couple plays designed there that we just couldn't connect on, and a couple of them just would have been very acrobatic catches. So we just like I said, some of those nights you just have some of those nights to where one area of your team doesn't play as well, and then give credit to them. They were really good on defense. They were physical and did a great job in the back end, and luckily our defense kind of stepped up against the wing T offense. They're able to second half kind of get that under control.
Derek, how tough has this season been with COVID cancellations? I think you guys have another one that's affected your schedule coming next week with Austin East, as they've had to shut down for a little bit.
Yeah, we've told the kids when we got back that this isn't going to be anything like you're used to. And I don't think the kids still understand that. I just don't. And we've talked to them over and over again about, every week's going to be different. There is no and that's why I usually told them, I said, guys, I'm a pretty habitual planner as far as having stuff mapped out. But, this year you can't really look too far ahead because you don't know what's going to happen. So it's been, what we as a coaching staff knew it was going to be. And the kids, I think, understand that. And, they're getting better at understanding it. But, Austin East has gone virtual. So we know we will not be playing them Friday. So I think unfortunately, that would give us 2 straight bye weeks. So maybe we can, we're going to, work hard to find a game and let's let our kids play.
Is that like your second or third COVID-related game?
Well, the first game of the season, we had a COVID, the opponent, Hampton, could not, their whole school system couldn't play.
Wow.
And then last week we had another one going back to the summer, and the September 25th date was really, really hard to fill.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to fill that date from maybe, there were a couple teams that may have been interested, but one was, 3.5 hours away. And then, the other was maybe a team that, going before you will play a team like Pigeon Forge, your rival, so we just felt like last week, let's just kind of take the week off and make sure we go to the Pigeon Forge game with our full team and, full health. So, it's been tough. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I think, everybody just has to adapt to it and understand that, 1 week things may change and then 1 week things may be different. So I think it's just important for us to, just take every week at a time.
Well, Derek, I know you have a lot of things to do tonight, as you mentioned, getting that film uploaded and trying to prepare for the last push of the regular season. So I thank you so much for cutting out a few minutes of your night and joining us here on the Waffle House Hotline, and congratulations on that win.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jesse, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's Derek Ring, head football coach at Gatlinburg-Pittman, as they are victorious tonight, 15-12 over Pigeon Forge. A nice comeback victory for that football team, and they will be one that you will be seeing in the 3A bracket coming up here in about 4 weeks. So, all right, we're going to catch our last break right here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. We come back, Kevin Smith will join me again. We'll start to look at some highlights from around the area and kind of break down what happened in Week 7. Stay with us.
5 Star Live Coaches and Players Hotline is brought to you by Knoxville area Waffle Houses. When you're hungry after the big game, get them smothered and covered 5-star prep style.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5-Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never question. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
I think it's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus and not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
Welcome back, everybody, to 5-Star Live. We're here at Grace Christian, where Grace Christian polished off a 24-21 win over Webb. And thank you to Grace Christian Academy for hosting us tonight, and to Rusty Bradley and Michael Human for joining us in the first segment of the show. Thank you also to Derek Rang for, again, joining us on the Waffle House hotline in the last segment. All right, let's start to look around the area tonight. Not a ton of marquee games to really talk about. I think some of that's coming up in Week 8, but one of the games we were at tonight was Maryville versus Fulton. Kevin, one of the things I wanted to see tonight is if Maryville could get off to a better start in the first half. The last 2 weeks against Bearden and Farragut, they really struggled early.
Yeah, and it was good to see them get off here early and get the passing game going. I know they've been trying to work on that. We know what Maryville's coaches say. They know what they're going to get from Parker McGill. So right now, what can we find that can help us later on in the season? And I think you saw that tonight.
Yeah, you got Markel Fortenberry caught that first touchdown pass. It looked like Nick Daigle maybe there got in the end zone, and then they start coming back with Parker McGill in the second half, as they have been doing lately.
Yeah, and another player. I mean, we've talked about Mr. Curcio here at Grace Christian at running back. Another great player, Parker McGill. We've said it for every week, but this is a great high school football player. You need to go watch him play. Maryville knows what they have in him, and in the playoffs, when you have a guy like this that's so dependable like he is, it's such a luxury to have. Can they get the other guys involved? Can they get the quarterback in the passing game going?
I love him as a running back, though. I mean, we've talked about him enough, but I see him operating out of the Wildcat there, and is he going to get 4 stars? No. Is he going to get SEC offers? No, but man, I'd take him on my team any day of the week.
He's the guy you win with. I mean, You win state championships with a guy like that. Again, dependable, great player. And when I say dependable, that's not a knock. This guy's a great football player. He can catch out of the backfield. He runs hard. He's got great quickness and agility in the hole, and then he can break away. And I love him out in the screen game, too. So we saw a little bit of that from Maryville. And then you saw another wrinkle. We haven't seen this yet in a couple of weeks with that Wildcat from him. This is another wrinkle Maryville's putting in, and this could be dangerous as, again, we talked about last week. I think it was last week when we said, watch out for Maryville. Say, what do you mean watch out for Maryville? They lost so many players from that team last year, but this is the guy. He's the stalwart. He's going to be the one that leads them the rest of the way.
We saw DJ Burks, number 1, who kind of excels in the secondary. We saw him operate a little bit out of the Wildcat earlier in this year, now experimenting a little bit with Parker McGill, and they need that. We're not – and, again, I'm not saying Maryville is struggling offensively, but we're used to seeing them get a 35-0 lead and then kind of coasting in the second half. Conversely, this year, over the last couple of weeks, they've kind of gotten off 7-0, 14-0 lead, and then had to really put it away in the second half. They win tonight easily, 35-0, but they have a really intriguing game coming up here in a couple of weeks with a very good McMinn County team.
I'm really excited about this game. You tried to get me to make
that,
you tried to get me to make a prediction last week. I'm not going to go there yet, but I'm really interested in seeing both these teams because I want to see McMinn County, who we've seen they are physical. They've got speed. This is a football team who can run the football, and then we've got a Maryville team who's been experimenting with different people at different spots, and they're a young football team. I'm really excited about that game and look forward to it.
Yeah, so I'm going to check Maryville's schedule real quick. I mean, this isn't live TV. It's like streaming TV. So let's see as I struggle with my phone. October 23rd at McMinn County. That's a long trip for 5 Star Live.
Yeah, it's a long trip.
But we've made it to Rockwood. We can make it to McMinn County.
All right.
Are the groans coming back over there on the other side of the street?
We're getting thumbs up.
All right. We're going to road trip down to Athens. Okay.
You better make sure that they're in or nobody's going, right?
We'll be doing FaceTime off my phone trying to get this done. Looking back around the area, Powell comes back into play tonight. You remember they had an off week, and then Halls had to cancel. They resumed basically what they've been doing all year tonight, 48-13 over Campbell County. And next week we get West versus Powell on Thursday night.
And that'll be a matchup where we're kind of seeing the West defense. Can they slow down this Powell offense? I think some people are sleeping on Powell's defense as well. I think we are talking so much about the offense. This is a defense that is proving itself and continuing to get better. And if that defense continues on the trek that they're on, this is a very good football team. So I'm really interested in seeing the West defense versus that Powell offense. I know everybody's talking about those. And then I want to see, can Powell's defense step up and stop the running game of West, who's got a three-headed attack, a three-headed monster there.
Yeah, Isaiah Mattress, I don't think he played a couple of weeks ago against Carnes. I didn't see any increase in his statistics when they sent in, but what we did see was Trayvon Barfield. This is a young sophomore who the coaches raved about during the preseason. They say he's the fastest guy on the field. Last week, just had a monster game. Coming into week 7, he was averaging 19.5 yards a carry. 19.5 yards a carry.
That's
and I'm not talking about I'm not talking about like on 5 carries. I mean, he leads the team in rushing now in total yards. So now you mentioned that three-headed monster. You got Isaiah Mattress, you got Trayvon Barfield, and then they got the little scat back in there, Jai Hundley, that can mix it up in the backfield as well. So it's going to be a fun matchup. Last year, West and Powell delivered on both games. A lot of emotion, a lot of great plays, came down to the wire, especially there in the regular season, and it should be a fun one next week on Rivalry Thursday. So,
and I think we'll probably see a lot of points, but these are two good defenses. Again, I know all the press is going to talk about both offenses. Mm-hmm. I am really interested in the defensive matchups from both teams because we could see a lot of points, but I like these defenses. They're getting better, and this could be a lot tighter and not as many points as you would originally think.
I like West defense. Jimmy Himes asked me on the radio today, who would you take? Would you take West defense or Alcoa's defense? And, of course, I picked Alcoa. They have a lot more Division I talent on there. But for West, they've done a really good job of doing what they're supposed to against their opponents. I will say this. I don't think West has faced an offense like Powell's just yet.
Right. And that will be shocking because you can't – here's what you can't do. It's very hard as coaches to simulate that speed and what they bring to the table. And then let's talk about the Potts kid at quarterback. His ability to improvise in the pocket, you can't practice that. Like you don't have anybody on your scout team who can get outside the pocket, can elude blitzes. I mean, this guy is making unblocked players miss. So that is very hard to practice against. And so it's going to be a tough test for West. But I know everybody's going to talk about both offenses, Jesse. But I think this is going to be this could be a defensive game. And I'm excited to see both defenses against both offenses.
Yeah, it's the game. I think we did a midseason report, and pretty much all of our reporters said this is the game we're looking forward to. So can't wait for that one on Thursday. All right, looking around the area, Sevier County bounces back. Lately they've been struggling. They get a big road win, able to hang on against Gibbs, who put on a late rally, 41-35. Maybe one of the shocking scores of the night, Rockwood. We saw them a week ago. They make the stand in the red zone in the final minute of the game against visiting Oneida. They get the win 21-14.
And you know that was an absolute slugfest between two very tough football teams. We said it last week, and we know Oneida is a very good football team. That's a very good region. But let me tell you something. This Rockwood team They got pieces, and they got pieces to make a run. They've got enough size up front. They're physical. They know what they do. They know who they are as a program, and they've got some game breakers. And if those game breakers can get loose and they throw it just enough to get behind the secondary, this is a sneaky football team, Jesse.
I still like this this Oneida team. They've lost 2 games now in consecutive weeks, but both only by a touchdown. They have Colby Morgan, who's going to be likely in the mix for a Mr. Football Award. Everybody knows Tony Lambert plays really good defense at Oneida. I think they'll be there in the 2A playoffs down the road. All right, let's keep looking around the area because I'm cold and I'm ready to get into some warmth. Farragut goes on the road all the way up to Science Hill and wins 35-13. I mean, this Farragut team is starting to look for real.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to click. They're starting to get their offense going. The passing game's really doing well. Defense is coming around. Again, another football team. They played really well for a half last week against Maryville. This is a football team who can do some things in the playoffs as they continue to get better.
Yeah, with Dawson Moore throwing, with Matt White catching. I apologize, Farragut. I picked them to lose this game. I had a lot of people saying that Science Hill was for real this year. I hear that all the time. I should have just gone with Farragut, but I did.
They keep letting you down, man.
Mispredict. I don't even know if that's a word or not. Anderson County wins 47-6. They still have not lost to a region team since joining that region in 2017. I mentioned McMinn County earlier. They win 55-7 over Heritage. Sunbright gets the win over Oakdale, 32-23. South Doyle wins 56-7 over Seymour. West cruises 42-3 over Clinton. Oak Ridge rebounds with the win, 56-14 over Carnes. Carnes needed to win that game to make a surprise appearance into the 5A playoffs. Looks like that will not happen. Loudon continues to be undefeated this year, 41-0, and I think that's going to do it. I'm not seeing any more notable scores. Again, it's kind of a light week this week. I kind of calm before the storm, but these next few weeks, it's going to all kind of get decided.
Well, we're really starting to step into region play, and we're starting to get seedings for playoffs. Either you're in or you're out, and then if you're in, are you playing at home or are you going on the road? And these are very pivotal football games. And right now, the key is staying healthy. And I don't mean from the COVID stuff. I mean from on the field. Keeping guys healthy and on the field. You got the nicks and the bruises right now, but this is an exciting time. You feel the weather changing. You just breathe and feel that fall football is here, and you know that playoffs are coming. And so this is an exciting time, Jesse. I'm excited to see how these teams finish out, and we're starting to really see the cream rise to the top here.
For all you high school kids out there, this is a total PSA moment. Do not go anywhere on fall break. Stay home, wear a mask, just stay in bed the whole time, all right? Just stay in bed and look at your phone. I know you're good at that because that's the second Knox County school this year. We had Halls, and now Austin East is on red. They're going to virtual learning. I'm just kind of crossing my fingers as we near the finish line of the regular season that we get to continue playing, and I just don't want fall break to be this big COVID outbreak.
We're going to be fine, Jesse.
We're going to be fine. I'm a natural worrier.
Go outside.
I got gray hair over here.
Get some sunshine. Go get some sunshine, man. Right. Everybody's going to be fine. We're going to play football. I'll tell you this. We're going to have playoff football. We're going to have playoff football. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I don't want any more teams to lose games, and I want everybody to be able to be in full health and on the field the last few weeks of the regular season and really earn that playoff seed instead of somebody giving it to somebody because of COVID. So just try to do your best to stay sanitized, and that way we can all have football. For Kevin Smith, I'm Jesse Smithy. Thanks to all the guys over there on the other side of the camera. Thank you guys for watching 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. We'll catch you in Week 8.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at RockyTopHomeInfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
The great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.